What's happening, people? Welcome back to another episode of Red Divided. Myself, Tommy.
You got out of here.
I got myself, Unhappy Ham, for another week.
What happened? Why are you unhappy?
Don't mind him, bro. Even the draw's not good enough for him.
Away to Southampton.
They're sporting, bro. They are sport you, bro. Honestly.
But yeah. Unhappy Ham, bro. Unhappy Ham.
Don't mind him, bro. This team are sport you. We're dying for a draw. we were begging for a draw.
We have different expectations in life. because you like pounded jam doesn't mean that me too. I can't like Amala.
Nah, I hear you, shout. I hear you. We'll be saying though, a lot of football this week. Actually, we have 2 Premier League games apart from you and City. Everyone else gets 2 Premier League games, right?
Yeah.
Right up onto the World Cup, it's going to be non-stop now. So
yeah, there's only four more.
Yeah, I think we got 4 more games.
No, 3 more Prem games.
Because I know we got Forest, Chelsea, Wolves.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think we got someone else.
No, that's it.
Okay, maybe it's 3.
Yeah, that's it. Like I checked our fixtures before we jumped on, so there's only 3 more. Our last game is Fulham, so we got West Ham. I'm not sure who we got after West Ham. Was it Villa? Yeah, West Ham, Villa, and for us. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you've got Forest.
Yeah, we've got 4. Yeah, I forgot about Wolves away. Right. Wolves away. Okay, you're right. Yeah, it's the EFL Cup. Arsenal Brighton is the EFL Cup. So we got Forest at home, Chelsea away, Wolves away.
Yeah. So everyone's just got to try and get as much point as possible for the World Cup break. To be honest with you.
You have no idea what condition the players are going to come back in after the World Cup. So you need points on the board before you go.
Exactly. So that's probably what's best now. And I think for both of us, those are 3 winnable games anyway for both teams. Whether or not we actually get the points is another thing.
I'll take a point away to Chelsea.
Oh, sorry, not you guys. I was saying, I forgot you got Chelsea. I was saying.
Yeah,
you guys got Chelsea.
you only take a point, didn't you smash them last season?
I mean, I don't want to say we smashed it. I think we beat them like what 3-1 or something.
You know.
Yeah. Cool. All right. What are we saying? Where should we start this week? Let's just we didn't have you last week, so we start with you, Ade. Obviously we start with the United games because it's been a happy week for us. I'll be honest. I'll take the 4 points from the 2 games from like Spurs and Chelsea. So I'll definitely take that. What try and avoid the Ronaldo's situation until the end if you can spare time for about the Ronaldo situation in it. So let's just hear from you about the game itself.
We're gonna talk about Ronaldo, Daddy. We're gonna talk about Ronaldo.
We're gonna talk. We'll talk about it. But you guys at the end. But I'm sure I've already got a lot of messages asking that you guys are surely going to talk about him, right? So I was like, don't worry, we have.
No, I am.
So yeah, so let's just start with the games, like with the Spurs and Chelsea games. What were your thoughts?
I was happy. I was pleasantly surprised. So I started a new job on, was it Wednesday? So it was Wednesday, and we played Spurs on Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So quite a few of the guys in my office are Spurs fans, which is something new for me. But obviously, looked at the week ahead. I was like, okay, we've got Spurs at home, and then we've got Chelsea away. I was like, it's possible we get 0 points from this game.
All possible gone.
I was like, it's very possible, but let these guys not embarrass me type of stuff. Don't let me come to work miserable. But the guy that sits next to me is a Spurs fan. So I was like, you know what? I hope I come to work tomorrow happy. You come miserable. I've only known you for like 6 hours. I hope you come to work miserable. So obviously got home, got the match ready, all of that stuff. Thankfully, it was on Prime, so didn't have to do anything illegal to watch the match. So start the game, start watching now. So obviously at the start, I'm watching with one eye. I've got my laptop because I'm expecting some embarrassment. It might not be the sweetest of games to watch. And I'm like, these guys are not playing bad, though. So started turning my head a bit more and a bit more. And honestly, I enjoyed how we played. Obviously, people are going to say Spurs didn't play to their ability, but we still need to do something.
That's Spurs' ability at it. So yeah, they did. That's their level.
But like, we still need to do something regardless. So if Spurs are not playing well, we still need to do something. And I loved it. I love the energy. I love the fact that we kept at them. Like there were times that I was looking and there was a period of time that I'm sure we had 4 or 5 people at the edge of their box, including Fred. Like the way we're closing down, we're hounding them. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm appreciating. I'm appreciating the hard work. Like even Sancho, that I won't say he did anything extraordinary during the game for me, but it was that work ethic. The fact that they kept going. I was really pleased. It's something that obviously we've said we're going to trust the process. Obviously, we'll take the results as we're going along till we get to the part that the performances match up to our expectations. And obviously, a lot of people were like, the defense did well, but I feel the defense's work was made easy by what the forward players and the midfielders were doing, because they were on Spurs constantly. So I absolutely loved it. Anthony, he's doing well. Obviously, I'm still comparing him to Rafinha, which isn't great, but he's doing what he needs to do. He's added an extra dimension to our team, especially off that right where people weren't trying to or didn't want to play before. So that was great for me. The points, the clean sheet. Son, I didn't even know Son was playing in that game. I didn't even remember, which is a shame because I love the boy. But if I have to pick over Son and Man United, I'm going to pick Man United every single day of the week. So it gave me a good platform. I was like, okay, in the bag, 3 points. And we move on to the next game. But I don't know if you want to touch on the Spurs game before we move on to the Chelsea game.
I pretty much share. I think we talked about it over the phone and everything that you said. I pretty much share the same view. I didn't expect it, but as you said, like as good as we were, I thought Spurs were pretty bad, didn't it? But as Ham said, you might have to just accept that Spurs level, innit? That's what they do. That's how they play football.
That's what Conte is setting them up to do. But he'll complain after.
And if you watch a Newcastle game, it's a recipe for disaster, innit? Because they're going to look at you, see what United do, and all of a sudden they're going to be on you too. Every other team is going to be set up to press you from the top, from the get-go. And it's up to you whether you want to, if you can bypass that press, and if not, you're going to struggle throughout the rest of the season. It's as simple as that.
But we've seen them do it before in the past where they bypass the press with one ball. Like Kane will drop pass, one ball over to Son, and it's done. So I'm not sure why they're struggling.
Well, then you know what it is, and this is what I felt like. I know you say like the 4 players that worked hard made the defenders, the players' job easier, and this is what I thought Varane and Martinez was quite good, because Martinez was not giving Kane the chance to even turn around to find Son. He wasn't giving no space whatsoever. As soon as he gets the ball, he was on him all the time. Kane didn't get no time. And then with Varane, he was able to match Son's pace at all times. And that's what Varane's good at, innit? One-on-one, isolate area. He was able to match it. So if you can isolate those 2 threats, because those are the threat anyway, they're not really going to get anything from elsewhere. So as much as the pressing was so good from the forward players, I thought it's also important because with them 2 players, all they need is one lapse of concentration, right, or one mistake.
And that's why I was scared. When we're on top and we didn't score, I was thinking, it takes one moment for these guys.
We saw it against Chelsea. Chelsea was all over them. And then all of a sudden, Kane pulled something out of the bag out of nowhere. It does happen. So that's why I do give those 2 centre backs and even the fullbacks, I give them credit because they got involved with the play a lot. Like literally, we had them pinned back. Dallo, Luke Shaw, and what was the Luke Shaw shot from when one fullback is crossing in for the other, you know that you're on it. Do you get what I mean? So we didn't give them the chance. We didn't even give them a chance to come out. And that's obviously, I think we're talking, just to touch on Luke Shaw, that's what Figgy can't offer us. Malastas, actually, we've seen it for 4 or 5. Tyrell, he can't offer us that. We might say Luke Shaw's not the best at it, but when Luke Shaw's good, he's good. And that's the problem with his inconsistency. When he's good, he's good. The last couple, I think what helped us is the game that Gareth gave him. So that slightly helped us. That 2 games we played for England, ever since he came back from that international break, the guy's been doing well. So, like, thank you, Gareth, for that. I can't lie. And then I think straight after that, Tyrell had a bad game. Who did we play? Was it against
Europa League?
It was Europa League. And that's what you need, isn't it, as a player? Like, the person in your position have a bad game. And one thing the manager has shown since he got here is that you will get your chance. Do you know what I mean? If someone's not playing up to standards, I will play someone else. And he got his chance back, so it's up to him whether he keeps it or not. But yeah, now against Spurs, like, I've watched Arsenal, I've watched City play some top football all season, and then you just keep thinking, when he's like, are we ever gonna get there? But and I know we're still a long way, still early days, but it was just good to like see that type of football. I know like it's still not clean enough, but I was happy to see the press, the passes, like even like we'll get to the Chelsea game, because even some of that translated into some of the performance in the first half of the Chelsea game, especially the middle of the park. Them guys were really good, and Casemiro was giving them a foundation, a solid foundation, because where we used to fail in the passes, it's those 2 guys that always lose the ball in the middle of the park, and then all of a sudden, all like the attackers that's supposed to be pressing are now running backwards. I mean, they're facing the wrong way. So he was able to keep it simple. Like it was just a general in the middle of the park, and he did well, man. So yeah, I can't lie, I was so happy with his first performance. But I was trying not to get too excited because I still know it's early days. But it gave me a bit of belief going into the Chelsea game. Let's put it at that.
Yeah, so, I guess the situation is you take every game in isolation, right? Like at the end of the day, we know no magic has happened that has made us struggle in the Europa League to becoming world beaters. It's a one-off game, but it's positive.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, so I'll definitely take that. In terms of like Spurs, Ham, what are your thoughts about Spurs? We talk about them again in terms of today's game, but what are your thoughts on them against United?
My thoughts are never going to change on them, bro. They're shit, bro. They're shit. They play their football is horrible. It's almost anti-football, bro. But their performance against Old Trafford weren't shocking to me because I'd be watching Spurs. They don't do shit, bro. Do you think
that's Conte? Do you think that's mostly down to Conte?
I think that's always been. I think the only time Spurs have played football that I liked was when they had Harry, when Redknapp was there and it was free flowing. But that's in keeping of the manager. Redknapp is that type of manager. And Pochettino had a good system, had good young players, and they look vibrant. And that's when Tottenham actually become like a semi-threat. But then with Mourinho and then Nuno and Conte, I personally think their football style has taken a step 2 back. So watching them play, it's like methodical. There's no ingenuity there. There's nothing really going there that's making you think, ooh, apart from obviously H. And H is a quarterback now. He might as well play American football. So quarterback gets it and finds his runner, which is Son. And it's almost predictable because his only runner ever is Son. So like Tom said, with Martinez knows that I don't allow him to turn a line to do that stuff. They got nothing going that way because Varane's going to match Son, like Tom said as well. And I just got to make sure that Kane doesn't get his head up and see space. And Martinez is on him more game. But yeah, I don't want to talk about them too much because I thought they were shit and I thought United were excellent. I tweeted that United should have been like 7-0 up. Like the chances that Rash missed, the save that Lloris was making, no word of a lie, I literally thought should have been like 7-0 up, bro. And I don't even think we played them off the park in the second half. But I don't think we had as many chances as you guys did. You guys are having chance after chance after chance after chance. So for United fans, it's like, yeah, this is what you want to see. But you got to temper that with the opposition they're shit, bro.
Yeah, no, I totally agree because I said it's great to see. It's great to see where like at least where the manager's head is at, where it's going. Do you know what I mean? But as you said, you have to understand that Spurs literally just play into our hands. It's as simple as that. But it's funny because I touching on what Ade said, bro. I've seen times where they have been able to bypass the press. So I don't understand why. I just don't know what goes on with their head. Like, I just thought it was broken in the United game. I'll be honest with you. In the United game, that was one point I thought that was completely broken. That it's like they almost knew that they was going to lose the ball. You know what I mean? Like, and then that just gave our players more confidence to just keep getting at them, getting at them. Because it's as if they had no confidence left when it was getting the ball. No one really wanted the ball. They didn't want it. It was just, it was bad for them anyway. It was great for us, though. But it was just great for us to sustain a performance for like full 90 minutes. I think we were talking about the beginning of the season where we had 2 minute spells, 5 minute spells, 10 minutes, and so forth. But to be able to sustain that. So now, if you can continue that, that'll be great. But obviously, what's also got to translate into is the chance of scoring the goals. I mean, there's no point of us creating, like, we're actually creating a lot of chances, like creating good chances, but for some reason we can't put the ball in the back of the net.
Martial scores at least 2 if he was up front instead of Rashford there, and it just is what it is. Martial's finishing is better than Rashford's. Like, Rashford ultimately was just bang, smash.
Yeah, because Martial, as much as we might, well, let me not say we, I'll speak for myself, I don't speak for you. As much as I might get onto him and whatnot, the talent is there, but the difference between him and Rashford is Martial is a cool customer. So if he gets in his position, he's cool anyway. So when he's going to finish, he's got a cool head anyway. So he's not lashing. If you look at Martial's goal, you don't really lash at nothing, can it? There's a measured approach to his finish. Whereas Rash is in a position and it's just a lash. I got to get this on target. And there's no need. That 2 of the chances against Lloris, bro, Lloris is giving you the whole side of the other goal. The ball has to go there. You have to at least attempt to put the ball there. He's not even attempting to put the ball in the space. He's just smashing on target.
Bro, I've been questioning Rashford's finishing for years, like years, nothing new for years. And it's just a problem where this is something you can develop. It's something you can learn, right? As a striker, you can learn new finishing, but hasn't even taken the opportunity to.
Yeah, it's a temperament when you just get in front of goals, and some people have it, some people don't. It's just knowing when you get in front of goals, just having that temperament to know, okay, cool. This time around, I'm going to try and chip it because of the position where the keeper is, or I'm going to curl it. Like, because you heard what Corey said about him. As much as it's rude, it's right. Like, you might laugh about it, but he's right.
Well, that's why I've always said he's very good at striking a dead ball. But his finishing is poor, and there's a difference between the two of them. But the problem is there are people that have smashed the ball and still scored lots of goals. Like when you compare Hasselbank to Berbatov, Hasselbank just used to smash it. But
it just depends on how you smash it too, though, right? Because it's like if you're gonna smash it hard and low onto the ground. But the height that the ball is at, you're almost like he's
not even looking; he's just striking it.
God bless you. I'm gonna say, I personally don't think he when he gets in front of goal, he's like a normal footballer. Gets in front of goal, I got to hit this on target. But he doesn't think that, okay, the space is top left, it's going top left, or the space is bottom right, it's going bottom right. He's just, I'm in front of goal, I'm getting this on target. If it goes in, it goes in. If it don't, it don't. At least I hit the target.
And I think I said this like 2 seasons ago when we started the podcast. I said, difference between a good striker and a great striker. A good striker just gets on target. Let's see what happens. A great striker says, I'm picking that spot. And that's exactly where they're putting it.
Yeah, no. Definitely. Okay. He's just... At least, like the thing with him is like once we do get a striker, or whatever it is, because I think with Ten Hag, he's obviously going to get more players in. And when he gets on the bench, I don't want to hear I wasn't given a chance.
No.
I mean, like,
well, he's putting in the effort. He's putting in the work for the game. So
you know what? We'll talk about the Chelsea game because even not top against I was really impressed with him. I'll be honest with you. He's like in the 2 games. No, sorry, not the Chelsea game too. He did a bit. He did what? Especially the Spurs. I was actually really impressed with him. What? Just basically, I was Paul Merson today, innit? Basically, what Paul Merson is saying, it's like, bro, it's as if guys don't get upset when they miss anything because that is something they brought up from the academy. I'm not sure if you guys.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
It's literally what you're saying is that.
I beat 2 or 3.
Yeah, guys just like dribble, beat 2 or 3, shoot, miss, and they don't get upset about it. It's like people are forgetting the art of finishing. And obviously, for us that we've obviously watched the great side, we're going to question it, right? Because we've seen like the greats, like we've seen all type of finishings. You know what I mean? We're almost spoiled with it. So like the certain players
strikers were strikers.
Strikers
to get inside forward, all of this stuff. Strikers were strikers.
Like
proper.
They get into that position, it's almost guaranteed that they're going to score. Like you put everything on it. So it's just when we see this new generation of players and strikers where it goals don't come as easy to them, then I don't know, man. It's just
they're lax as well.
Listen,
right? Someone else will do. Sorry, someone else will do the job, right? Like all these centre strikers, if they're not doing it, the inside forward will score. But you look at a team back in the day, like Man United, you've got Cole, York, Sheringham, Solskjaer. You F up for 1.5 matches, you might not see that pitch again for 6 weeks, right? So you have to keep on top because the competition is fierce. So now you don't even have that much competition because you might be the one and only central striker. Everyone else is inside forward. So you can sit there. The rest of them will do the job. I just need to play my part and just hold the ball up for them, all of that stuff. But back then we had hungry strikers. Scoring goals was important. That's why I get vexed at Kane. I'm like, sure, all this, you're inside, quarterback, blah, blah, blah. Bro, you're meant to score these goals. This is why you're here. Don't let Haaland come 10 years after you and then pass your goals within 3 seasons. I will not shut up after if that happens. But it is what it is. Football's different now.
You know what Marcus needs to do? Yeah, Marcus needs to watch Zaha's interview after the game when they were down there 1-2-1 during the middle of the week. Was it who did they play? They played middle of the week. They come 1-0 down. Was it Wolves?
Yeah.
Wolves. Yeah, it was Wolves. It was Wolves. It was Wolves. And they won 2-1. The second half performance much better than the first half performance. I don't want to dwell on it. And Zaha scored good goal, good team goal, good finish. Yeah. And he got interviewed at the end of the game. And they asked him about, his game and how he likes Palace. And he was just like, the one word I use all the time when I speak to the young boys, or Lisa and Eze, is efficiency. Like I was that young boy back in the day and I wanted to dribble and get past 4 or 5. And then you look at your numbers at the end of the season, I'm paraphrasing, and it's not really there. It's not showing, it's not in line with how you performed. So now you look at Wolf now, the reason why Wolf is in my fantasy team is because I know he's going to guarantee, even in that Palace side. I think last year he got 14. He's probably going to do 14 again this year. And I think the season before that he might have done 8s, 9s and whatnot. But the difference between Zaha when you watch him play is he doesn't even dribble that much now. He said it himself in the interview. I don't dribble that much now because it's efficiency. When I'm on that pitch, putting the ball at the back of the net is what's going to help my team win the game. So that's what all these, and I think it was a perfect nugget to hear from Wolf as well, because Wolf is a dribbler, innit? So to hear from him that I don't dribble as much now, the key word I use to Olise and Eze all the time is efficiency. Get in the box, and when we're in there, finish. And Marcus's all-round game isn't that great either. Marcus is not the best at holding it up. Marcus does beat people. His biggest asset is his pace, but when he gets in there, it's about how do I slow my mind down. And like Ade said, you made a great point. You can learn those things, because like we just mentioned, Wilfried Zaha and him are not too dissimilar. Wolf is a better dribbler, but in terms of their positions they play and their age, obviously Wolf is older, but they're not too dissimilar. But Wolf has learned how to, okay, when I'm there, finish. And Wolf is not getting the amount of chances that Rash is getting, because he's playing for a more inferior side. But his thing is, if I only get 2, one of them's got to go in. Rash is getting 3, 4s, 5s and putting 1 away. It's not good enough. And Rash has been playing in the league for so long, yeah, that we should be looking at Rash as he's going to guarantee us 15 goals this season. Guarantee 15 goals. Like we look at Son and all the other men. Guarantee, obviously Son's having a shit season. Ade's son is having a shit season this season. Yeah. But yeah, I like Rash in it. Like obviously everything he's doing outside the football, and I actually like him. So I would want him to get better. When I see him just do finishes like that, it does. I'm not even a United fan, but it does my nut in, bro. Because, come on, man, get better,
it's frustrating. Yeah, no, it's frustrating, bro.
Yes.
Well, yeah. No, I totally agree with everything you say, Ham. It's just, I didn't hear the interview, but it's actually good to hear that coming from Zaha. If I was a manager, I'd be playing him that interview.
100%. Because none of you, man, I listen to that are better dribbler than Zaha. So why can you not find better?
He's probably he's going to work on. But yeah, let's just move on to the Chelsea game. What are your thoughts on the Chelsea game?
So I didn't watch it live. I had to take the little one to a party, so I was listening to it on the radio.
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, so that's what I was being informed, and then obviously watch Match of the Day. But all I kept hearing and reading, so reading on BBC, listening on the radio, you're just like, this is this first half is dead. It's a drab game. But I did hear like we perform sufficiently.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
That's what's important to me, right? We've gotten the 3 points. Now we're away to Chelsea. Let's just show that we have that still. Let's not do we win, lose, win. Like we need points on the board. So from what I heard, very good. And from what I saw, okay, first half performance. You don't want to go to a place and get blown out of the park. And you do think about it, and Chelsea's squad is very strong.
Massive.
They actually do have a very strong squad. So you can't take for granted what you are able to achieve there. I think now the last 3 games against them have been 1-1 draws, which I will take, because if we can compete with Chelsea, it means we are going in the right direction towards Champions League football. So I'll take that. Obviously, McTominay, you know what? The funniest thing, so obviously I'm driving and then they get the corner. And I was like, oh, at least like while I've been driving, I haven't felt any unease or any time that I felt that, oh, we're under the cosh or any issues. And then literally had penalty. I'm just like, oh. How does that work?
How managed?
Yeah, literally. So literally the respite, I just thought, the ball's gone out. I don't think we've been under much stress. And then literally had penalty. And I'm like, oh bloody hell. So obviously that's when we're messaging. And I'm just like, and it's typical because that's McTominay, right? Like if someone says something's happened without me seeing or hearing it and they ask me to guess, it's gonna be him or Maguire that I'm gonna guess first. Especially in terms of stuff like penalties. It's always because McTominay is very reckless in how he does things. Like he's very clumsy. That's probably the word I use. He doesn't necessarily use force, but he's just very clumsy with the way he does stuff. But to come back and actually try and equalize, actually go for it. I can't be more pleased, because there are lots of games where we'll just give up. It's done, or we'll let them see out the game. But to actually go for it, Casemiro's header, very happy. Leave this 2-game period with 4 points.
You would have taken that at the start,
bro. I might have even taken 2. I might have even taken 2. So no. I think overall it was a very good week. Yeah, and long may it continue. Obviously, we probably need to add 1 or 2 more players during January. But I think we're moving in the right direction. Points wise, we're there and about. We've got a game in hand over a couple of the teams above us. So it's not a bad position to be in. Not a bad position to be in.
Yeah, pretty much. Again, I totally agree with you. I just feel like we're heading in the right direction in terms of like the performance. Keeps improving. I mean, it's not anything, not what we want to be, but I can see the improvement every time we play football. In terms of the Chelsea game, I know a lot of people say the game was dead, but I was actually quite pleased with the first 8 minutes. I'll be honest with you.
From that aspect, from United, 100%, it was good.
I'll be honest, I was very pleased with the first 8 minutes. And what I was very pleased with is just the fact that tactically the manager was able to take advantage of that Chelsea system, knowing very well we're just gonna overcrowd them in the middle of the park. And so it's good to see that from a manager. Do you know what I mean? Okay, you know what? Chelsea is, God bless you, it's got a head there.
Thinking,
Do you know what I mean? It's thinking. So next time Graham Potter come and plays us, it will know, okay, cool, I can't do that again. Do you know what I mean? So he's thinking, and bear in mind, he played Graham earlier on in the season. So all these managers are new to him, innit? So he's gonna, as he goes along, he's gonna keep learning stuff. Okay, brilliant. That you're taking advantage of, you saw weakness there, and you capitalize on it. But once again, the finishing let us down. Do you know what I mean? Because Rash had one. Okay, the first one.
Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony's one was probably the best one. But the 100%. Rash, the one that Rash had, that his first touch was quite bad, got away from him. So that's probably what let him down. But Anthony should obviously at least got his on target.
Anthony's got to score that.
He's got to score that. But yeah, after the first 30 minutes, I think from both teams, it was just horrible. Do you know what I mean? We weren't doing what we were doing anymore, because obviously Chelsea now had 3 men in the middle. So both teams, it just weren't great. to watch. It wasn't great. So before the game, I would have taken the point. I'll be honest with you. Before the game, if someone offered me the point, I'm taking that straight away. And when McTominay get a penalty, I was just like, what an idiot. Bro, they just brought you on. I know you weren't playing. This is why you don't play. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, I think the manager got criticism from like the pundits of why taking those players on off. I can understand, to be honest with you. Bro, we played so much. We played like 4 games in 10 days. 4 games, like the players, they can't sustain it, and especially the running we did against Spurs. And what you need to understand is we have them. Our bench is not as great as we want it to be, so it's still going to take a few more windows to get where he wants. So yeah, he had to bring him. I think for him, just thought, yeah, I need to bring in some bodies, and the bodies didn't make sense, but he still brought them in anyway. So get me the point. And when we were 1-0 down, I think, God damn. Well, I still wasn't. I'll be honest, I wasn't devastated. But see the celebration for the equalizer. I was happy because I think it'll come from Casemiro, and Casemiro he deserves it too because his performance has improved too from the last 2-3 games. I thought, you know what, you deserve it, and thank God for like goal line technology because that talking margins thank God for goal line technology. So, because without that, then we wouldn't have got the goal. But yeah, now pretty much everything you said. Yeah, I'm happy, man. Like we've got 3 games before the World Cup. If we can just try and get even 7, like 9 will be fantastic. 7 out of 9, I'll take that because I think the games that we should be able to. We've got West Ham at home, Fulham away, and Villa away. So if you just draw one of the away games and win one of the away games and beat West Ham at home, I'll take that. As long as we keep getting points on the board and not taking like step backwards. So yeah, I'll take that, man. What's your thoughts on the game, man? Yeah.
I don't have any thoughts. I don't have any thoughts. The game was useless. Just a waste of 1 hour and a half, bro. No, it was, yeah. It was like I might as well just went on YouTube and watch chess. Was 2 experts play chess. That's all it was. Because after half an hour, Graham Potter said, my system not working, Kukurea, you're coming off for changing the system. Then at halftime, United are just okay, cool. Then Ten Hag matched what he was doing. Then Potter said, okay, let me go and change it. And then as soon as he changed it, Ten Hag said, okay, cool, I'm bringing these players on to change it to mirror what they're doing. So honestly, even though Chelsea looked like they were going to get the win, obviously the penalty was like 2 minutes ago or something, and Chelsea might have said, oh, we deserve to win. But United getting that draw was almost fitting for the game that we saw as neutrals, and even Chelsea and United fans, to be honest, I think a point shared was more than good enough. I don't think there was a standout player. I don't think there was anything that said, okay, this side should have won and this side shouldn't have lost. So I thought it was a good 1-0 performance. But the standout for me, even though I said it was a standout performance, but the guy that I thought was quality again, Lisandro Martinez at the back. That guy is just, I love his tenacity. I love his tenacity.
Nobody's mentioning his height no more.
No, we don't need to. That was a nonsense comment anyway. But to go down with his tenacity is the fact that, we said about Martial, I said that Martial was cool in front of goal and Rashford is a bit rash. When you're centre half, you almost, not too rash, but you almost want to be on edge because obviously you're anticipating danger. But then when you get the ball, now you got to be cool. But you see a lot of centre halves when they get the ball, I like Sol Campbell back in the day, it's like a hot potato. I need to get rid of it quickly. I need to get rid of it. But Martinez is able to go from 100 miles per hour, get the ball, cool head. If I can pass through the lines, I'm flipping it through the lines. If it's got to go to my fullback, it's got to go. Everything he does with the ball at his feet is always, and obviously he comes from that Ajax school. I don't know whether he was academy or they bought him there, but he's gone through that training. Yeah, they've gone through that training academy, and you can see it in the way he distributes the football, and even in the big games. So he doesn't shirk from it. It's Chelsea away. I'm still gonna play because that's what my manager wants, but that's how I want to play. So I thought he was top, and the fact that Varane's been injured a bit. Maguire. He even had to play Lindelof to finish the game yesterday, but that didn't affect his performance. And I think he's been United's standout player this season anyway. But I can't cheat him out. I think he's and adding Casemiro in front of him. Bruno's starting to turn on a bit as well. Eriksen's been a good buy as well. So I think that's why United's trajectory is going like that. Martinez has settled into the Premiership really well. Obviously, we want to see how he does for a whole season, but he settled in well. Get him a proper partner. Varane is a proper partner, but Varane's injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then get another midfielder in, maybe get 2 new fullbacks, whatever. But with him anyway, at that base, and then Casemiro in front of him, a number 9 to come as well. United on a good trajectory still, because I like the lad. I like him. Bro.
Yeah, now, to be honest, I wanted to praise him as well, but I think I've done enough praise for him against Kane, because he done well against Kane, man. So yeah, well done to him.
Right, cool. Let's just move on to your boys, Ham. So what? Obviously, we skipped. Did we really need to talk about the PSV game? Like, actually, the only thing about the PSV game, I wanted to get your thoughts on. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
On that winger, what's his name?
Cody Gakpo.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, man. Yeah, comfortable, nice, comfortable on the football. Yeah, looks good. Every time I watch his highlight, obviously, the Dutch football, we don't really watch it, innit? You just see the highlights. And when I think they played in the finals or something like that.
Yeah.
But you watch him, innit? And numbers are good. Captain, so obviously he must have good pedigree. But watching him in the game, he just looked comfortable. All these other teammates looked like they was a bit. But him and the young youth, Xavi Simmons. Yeah, comfortable footballers.
Yeah, because I don't think they obviously you guys controlled everything, so he didn't get to show the extra layer.
And he probably never got to show.
Yeah, the games I've seen this season, like the variety of finishes. Yeah. I'm liking him.
So I'm hoping that conversations were had before he left the stadium. Like, we'll see you in Jan, yeah? Wink, gun finger.
Right. The fact that he was even linked to people like Southampton is embarrassing.
It's ridiculous.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I heard of I think saw the interview, and I think he's excited to come to the Premier League. I think it was quite
100.
It was devastated that the deal didn't go through. So we need to go back in January. We need to go back and it's players like him really that we need if Rashford keeps messing up. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to keep messing up.
The variety of goals he scored this season, ridiculous. Outside the box, inside the box, left foot, right foot. Yeah.
Right. And for me, he'd be perfect. Just last one, for me, he'd be perfect for us in terms. I know you spoke about you, but I think for us in terms of having a like-for-like replacement to come off the bench for Saka or Martinelli. Right now, it's Nelson and Marquinhos, and the drop-off from our 2 wide boys to them 2 is too vast. So if you have a Gakpo who bridges the gap and more experienced captain as well, So we have to do something in January.
Yeah, I think it will be perfect for both teams anyway. Just hoping that we can pick him up for 30-40 million, they're saying. Yeah.
I think numbers probably gone up a bit since summer though. Unless this is
I think his contract
out.
Yeah, I think his contract. I think there's this,
okay.
I think it's his contract.
That's the only thing, because his performances have definitely he ain't wasted any time this season trying to just roll things off. He's kicked off hard.
Okay, nice. Cool. Do you want to talk about the PSV game, Ham? Or should we just
we looked all right. No, we just looked all right, and Granit Xhaka scored with his right foot. So yeah, man. That's what we got to talk about. Scored with his right foot. I think we might as well have said we sealed top place as well. Obviously, we'd have to lose our last 2, and PSV would have to win their last 2. But for us, it's very important that we finish top. And just can be comfortable in our last 2 games and avoid any of the big hitters that dropped in the Champions League. So that was about it really from the game.
Oh no, he's his price has gone up. It's got like 4 years left.
Yeah. I think because even in the league, I think he's got like 9 goals, 9 assists in 11 games.
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
Just the league.
10 appearances, 9 goals, 7 assists.
It don't matter. We'll pay it. We'll pay it.
Yeah, the price has gone up.
That's without the cup competitions, and they've been scoring for fun. So yeah.
Cool. So like, look, going into today's game, I was talking to Ade. I was talking to you before the game. Was it yesterday or so? I was like, I don't know. The thing with Southampton, it's either they're very hot or very cold. You just never know what to get from that team.
They're the weirdest team in the world.
Trust me.
That's the only reason why that guy still has a job. That team is just confusing.
It's confusing. You never know what to get from them. So I was like, Ade, you know what? I don't know, because we do this and I was talking to Saita because we did this last man standing thing where you have to pick a team to win the game. Because I was going to pick Arsenal, thinking, I know they're playing Southampton, but I can't trust it. I just don't know you never know what Southampton's going to do. So I just thought, okay, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to pick Arsenal this week. I'll save them for next week if I do go through this week anyway. But and then yeah, and then the game ended up being, when you scored the first goal, I thought, because the way you started the game, I think we could have scored 2-3. Could have wrapped up the game early. Could have wrapped up the game, and then the longer you guys went with our scoring, and towards the end of the first half, I think the middle or like 30 minutes onwards, they got themselves back into the game. Yeah, and then they managed to get it going early on in the second half. And I thought they played really well in the second half. Like, although you could have won it in the second half as well if the ball didn't go out. That goal that Finley scored.
Yeah. Odegaard.
But that was a good call for the ref, though. Well done, ref. But thank God we saw that, boy. Yeah. But yeah, what was your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, no, it was frustrating and annoying, to be fair. Like when I was watching it, I was getting frustrated from the first half watching the game. Like it was effing and blinding, like throughout the whole first half. I had to say, because it just wasn't like, yeah, we started off comfortable, control of the game as we do, played well, scored good, 1-0 away from home, cool. But we were the dominant side for up to half an hour, and we had the Jesus chance. Jesus got to pick a side, 2-0, simple. Had the Odegaard chance, has to hit the target. It's on his left foot, it's on his favoured side. It's coming across his body, has to hit the target, even if he doesn't score. So that's 2 or 3-0. Yeah? And it's away from home. And the way we started, the way we've been playing, what's up on the table, the way we've been playing away from home, I know, and the Southampton players and fans know, if we go 2-0 up in the first half, they're only playing for pride after that, because they'll probably resign themselves to defeat if we go 2-0 up, especially the way we're playing as well. And the longer we didn't get the second goal, the first goal was cool, yeah, but the longer we didn't get the second goal was always going to be the downfall in the game. And what Southampton done like 10, 15 minutes ago is they quickly went to a back five, and the manager just switched it up and went to a back five instead of whatever they started with, which is, I think it was a 4-2-3-1 or whatever they were doing. And that's when they got some type of something going, because they didn't really have nothing going in it. I know they had in the first half, just corners. So cool, you're 1-0 up, cool, had the chances, but you're thinking we'll create more. Second half, second win, we'll create more. The second half performance was shite. I have no idea what happened when we come out, whether it was Southampton were better, and they weren't even like they were better like that, because once again, Ramsdale wasn't doing anything. So it wasn't like they were peppering us. It was just that and I kept screaming, the intensity is fucking on the floor. So we weren't sprinting for things. Our passes were like, you saw Saliba, and like after 5 minutes of the second half, simple pass to Gabriel, there was nothing behind it, and and Adam Armstrong latches onto it. They're thinking, boys, wake up, like wake the fuck up. And I can't even get at the manager, because I see him telling them as well, like every opportunity he had, like come on man, raise the intensity, because I don't know what happened when we went into half time and come out. And maybe Thursday, and all of them didn't play on Thursday, but wherever it was, the second half performance was just on the floor, and we got what we deserved. We didn't deserve to win the game if we weren't going to put our chances away and play the way we played in the second half. Thomas Partey was good in the first half, was absolutely dog shite in the second half, gave the ball away all the time, and couldn't win anything back. And we didn't have no sustained nothing, period, in the second half. Jesus has got to score in the second half as well when he's running through. Odegaard's putting through. And that literally has to go into the back end, or he has to be a better attempt than that. And that was really it, other than the chance that Tom said, the Odegaard chance, which is clearly chalked off, rightfully chalked off. But our second half performance was woeful. And I really hope that, yes, it's a point, and yes, top of the table. And if you told me, Ham, after 11 games, you're going to win 9, lose 1, and draw 1, I would have said, what year are we living in? Is it 2070 when I'm no longer here, or is it now? Because obviously, I'm going to take that all day long, innit? But when you're watching the game, and the game was there for the taking, I honestly don't. Yeah, I don't. It was hard for me to say, because it's a point, isn't it? But it's the manner of the point, and it was right. Like I said, for Southampton, they didn't do nothing crazy to say they should have won the game or got a point. But I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm looking at what we didn't do and what we did do, and we had to get the second goal in order to kill the game off. And it's like I said, we got out of jail last week against Leeds. Should have definitely come out there with a point, maybe even lost the game. We won 1-0, and then today, we didn't do enough to lose it. We could have probably went away with a 1-0 win and went home. But good for them. Good for them that they drew 1-1. And hopefully the manager isn't telling them, you're top of the table, happy with it. I hope he rips into them into that second half performance, because that was unacceptable. As good as they've been, as excellent as all of them have been, The second half performance was woeful, and that's not befitting of an Arsenal football club. That second half performance, we can't allow Southampton to outrun us and do everything better than us. If you saw that team on paper, the Southampton team on paper was a joke because Livermento's out for a long time, and that's one of their best players that they picked up. Kyle Walker-Peters was out. Shea Adams was on the bench, and Southampton don't even have a good 11. So you're taking out 3 or 4 players from their first 11 that's not even that good, and you're bringing in man like Lianco at right back. And the little lad Diallo's playing centre mid. Not even the Lavia that they got from Man City is playing centre mid. And you're looking at my team. This is our best 11, other than Zinchenko playing left back. This is our best 11. We can't get better than this right now. So that second half performance was on the floor. And the only thing I would say about the manager is I wish he was like, see how Graham Potter was the other day, half an hour, Kukurea coming off changing. I would just said to him, the second half performance, if you guys, any droppage, are making change. After 55 minutes, you should have known. Before Southampton scored, we should have made a change, whether it was a system change or one of the players come on and Fabio comes on and we take Thomas out and Xhaka goes deeper, or we take Jesus off and bring Eddie on. Whatever it was, something needed to change to wake the boys up. It didn't need for Southampton to score for us to try and get back into the game. And last point, that whole, I had a Twitter spat today, one of my first, with one. Because when I saw the lineup, I was just like, I don't like Tomiyasu at left back. KT is fine. KT's fit and playing. He's not having to lock no one up. I understand against Mo Salah. Okay, we want him to lock up their threat. What a waste of Southampton. Play KT. Okay, play Kieran. We already have a centre back doing a job at right back. I don't need someone that's not a left back playing left back. As good as Tommy has been, just play KT. We're away to Southampton. We're going to be on the front foot. So let him and Martinelli double up. And I'm not saying that's why we drew the game or didn't win it. But you saw when Kieran come on, everything was now coming down the left because he was frustrating down the left. So it was just silly. So I'm hoping that changes, but I don't want to see Tommy at left back. If Zina's injured and KT's injured, fair enough, he can play there. But if Kieran Tierney's on the bench and Tommy's starting left back, I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see Kieran Tierney on the left because it takes away from us. And I always want to be on the front foot. And having Tommy at left back doesn't allow us to be on the front foot like that from that side. You see what Ben White's doing on the right hand side. He's having a great season out there. He's doing a job for us. Tommy actually doesn't have to do a job for us. We have a left back there. Me and Ade's son is a proper good left back, bro. Play him. So I hope there are changes for the Nottingham Forest game, and I hope he does rip into them. But the only saving grace is we have got Forest at home. We have to win that game before we go away to Chelsea.
Yeah, what I was going to ask, obviously, you're talking about the intensity in the second half. Do you think that the legs were a bit heavy, like you needed to freshen up early? Or do you just think, yeah. But then do you think a lot of the boys have played a lot of games over the last
so that could be and that's the only get out of jail card I will give them, but then I don't give the get out of jail card to the manager because you're allowed to make 5 subs. So I can see it, you can see it. The intensity is on the fucking floor. So get Marquinhos, so whatever you have to do, get fresh legs onto the pitch. At least if we're not popping the ball back, we're gonna fucking run about, and just by running about we might be able to win the ball back, and by winning the ball back we've got enough quality to create something. We can't create nothing because we're not getting the ball back. And we're not getting the ball back because the boys looked tired. They physically had nothing in them in the second half. It was almost like someone had taken their legs away from them.
The saving grace is obviously you guys have qualified already, right? You're pretty much more or less top of that.
Yeah, I don't want to see no first team players on Thursday. When we travel to Holland on Thursday, I don't want to see none of my first team players. They go out there and play Matt Smith, centre mid, all them academy players. I don't give a damn, bro. I want to see Saka, Martinelli, Jesus. I didn't want to see Xhaka play. I want to see none of my first team players playing on Thursday.
100.
No, I get that. I need you guys to do one. If I go through to this last man standing this week, because I need West Ham to win tomorrow, then it's Arsenal that I'm going to pick next. So
yeah, we got Forest at home.
Yeah, rest of. What are you saying that day about? Actually, no, I was going to give you your thoughts on what's that Man City boy that came on at the end?
Edoze.
What was your thoughts on it? I think it looked quite good.
Oh yeah, no, it's tidy.
I don't expect nothing less to come from Man City.
Yeah, pre-season he was quality, and I'm not even talking about this pre-season. I think the season before that, quality played a few games for them. So yeah, tidy kid.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely be seeing him more often because he looked quite. I know I only got a glimpse of him. I haven't really watched. I'll be honest, I haven't watched Southampton properly all season. This is like
you ain't got no reason to, you know.
Yeah, he hasn't played loads. He hasn't played loads for Southampton. He's played the odd game here and there, but he played quite a bit last season, pre-season. Scored a few goals as well.
Yeah, I remember he played him and he played last season. I saw him Man City. Yeah, pre-season. So yeah.
Yeah, he scored a few goals and then played in the couple of cup games. So yeah.
It's cool. What's your thoughts on the game, Ade?
As you said before, Southampton are a dodgy team, very dodgy team. So you just never know what to expect from them. Like one day they can be shit, and then next game they can be playing out their skin. Like not saying that the quality is there, but just playing for their lives, like digging in. It's one of those ones. Expected Arsenal with the quality Arsenal have in the football they've been playing. Expected Arsenal to take the points, but as with anything, you're going to have some down weeks, right? It's hard to keep that level up all the time, especially when you're not a Man City that have like literally two teams that they could just replace and nothing's changed. It's a bit harder. So like what Ham said, when I saw the lineup, I was like, this left back situation, not sure if that bodes well, right? And it's always easier when you've got natural left footer on that side. Your game just flows a bit better, especially unless you've got a right footer that plays there all the time. There's always going to be some break in the way they play, just the way they think as they're going forward. But yeah, Arsenal probably should have made a change, switch something up, just to push them and give them that impetus to kick on. They don't. It's not the worst thing in the world. Every Arsenal fan will take it, apart from a couple of crazy ones that'll be like, no, I thought we'll have 100% record at the stage of the season. But it's one of those ones. It's an away game. Should have won, but it's not the worst in the world. So expect the level to pick up. I think guys were a bit tired, or their level dropped below what was expected of them. But yeah, expecting them to pick up, or else definitely. I'll leave Jesus for one more game. After Nottingham Forest, he's out my team.
1,000,000%, bro. Right here, right here, bro. I was gonna take him out, and I looked at him. I was like, no. I got Forest out.
Yeah,
be smart. Be smart, Ham. Don't be emotional. Be smart. Don't be emotional.
I can't. I don't want to put you in the same situation as Firmino, where you're good for the good of the team. You need to be scoring goals. Your mates and your juniors are scoring goals.
So,
I think that's the only thing. But for Arsenal, we'll talk. As you said, give him a few more games, and he's still got games to make up the goals. I think for you guys, what you've done so far this season, you just want to get to the World Cup with as much point as possible. Was it Forest, Chelsea? Who else was the last one? Wolves. Yeah, like Forest, Wolves, potential 6 points there. Like obviously, and then Chelsea, you could be like same thing as us. If you guys get 7 going into the World Cup, that'll be great for you guys, because hopefully January you can freshen up, because I think you definitely need to freshen up, because you don't have the luxury that Man City. They can take off Foden and whoever, bring on them.
100%.
Grealish
will come on. Grealish will come on.
Yeah. So we don't have that luxury at the moment. So yeah, so far so good, man. Just take that. All right, cool. Let's just round up some few games. Not going to spend too long because I want to talk about the Ballon d'Or actually. Spurs. Do we need to talk any more Spurs today? Or should we
just got to praise Newcastle for their performance.
Yeah,
Newcastle's performance was good, man. And Botman at the back. Remember, I said keeper I want to watch. Quality game today. Quality game today.
Yeah. Realistically, how far do you think Newcastle can go?
Top 6, huh? Top 6. Yeah, top 6. The way they're playing this season and how Eddie Howe's got them. Yeah, I think they should make top 6. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think.
And with Liverpool's drop off as well. Yeah, I would have said that as well, Eddie. But with Liverpool's drop off and the way you're actually watching Newcastle play, Miguel Almiron is playing out of his skin. My guy, fantasy as well. Wink, wink, gun. So yeah, bro. Top 6.
Yeah, I think the way they're playing definitely screams top 6. So I'll agree with him.
And Liverpool, like they took what 2? We had Drew here last week, all happy. After the I'm hearing they haven't won away in 5 games.
All season, mate. Yes, say all season. Don't say 5
all
games.
Season. Oh, okay. All season.
That's
That's
Premier
crazy.
League anyway.
Premier League, yeah.
Clock out. You heard it here first. Stop out.
For me, I'll be honest with you. I think that she realistically they should just fight for whatever trophy they can get this season and try their best to make it into the top 4. Because I think if the performance don't improve, they might just miss out in the top 4. But I still think it's still early for me anyway to say they'll miss out. But I just think that she just get this boys ready. They've got a few young boys there like Elliot and
Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio. So like get them ready for next season, man. I think there's still it's all new to this boys, isn't it? So yeah, get them ready for next season.
Well done, Cooper. Well done, Forest manager. Well done. He needed that big win.
Yeah, that's a massive win, and that's hopefully that gives them confidence. Actually, I don't need them beating you next week because if I do go through my lifespan standing, I need you guys to do your job.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do our job. We're not gonna wet the bed. We're gonna do our job.
Cool. Who else is there? Everton doing well. Oh, you guys want to talk about your boy? We sacked him now, Stevie.
Yeah, man. Sad, man.
I've been expecting it since. I ain't got no. I'm not sad.
Nah, man. Sad, man. I'm sad for my boy.
You sad for him?
Yeah, man. Should have given him time, man.
You reckon?
Yeah, man. Should have given him time. Look at him, man. Look at him today. They won 4-0 today, bro. Come on,
they've been unshackled, innit? They've been unshackled.
No, but it's not like I said. It's not. Football can't always be one person. It's a collective thing, innit? Players, board, managers. So Stevie can't take, oh my God, well shit, it's Steven's fault. No, I wish he gave him more time, but I hope he gets a new job, man.
But then look at what I think you touched on that about the Ings and Watkins situation. Why is he always trying Watkins? Like, look at Ings today, 2 goals. But even the goal that Watkins scored today, have you seen the goal he scored today?
No, I ain't seen no football this weekend.
You need to watch it, Harry. Before he can score that goal, yeah, fucking hell, this guy is atrocious. You need to watch it, bro. Literally, like, it hit the first one, keeper saved it. Ball came back to him somehow. Hit again, hit the bar. Onto the third one. And no, honestly.
And that's what you want Stevie to be working with. Stevie has played with Luis Suarez, Fernando Torres. And then he has to watch Oli Watkins in training every week. Come on.
But he put that on himself though. Why not play Ings?
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
Yeah,
and if you ask Stevie when he does interviews after, if he's honest, he'll probably say some of the decisions he regrets. But and it's understandable, isn't it? Like I look at Arteta and certain things he's doing don't be making sense. But the young manager's 3 years in the job, they're gonna work experience, isn't it, man?
Yeah, to be fair to Stevie, I actually like his interviews. He's very open and honest. When I asked him about him getting sacked, he doesn't shy away from me. It's like, look, if I don't do well, it's only going to be one thing. So yeah.
And Stevie, open invite. Hey, number 2 at Arsenal, bro. Come and learn under Mickey, bro. You want to come?
Cool. Let me just go back to Everton because of Iwobi. What you guys like? He's been doing well this season, so we need to like give him a shout out. What are you guys' thoughts on them this season?
It's been quality. I think I'm not sure if the first time we mentioned it was offline, because I think there was a week it came to my mind. I wanted to say something on the pod, but then we didn't raise it, and then I think we raised it in the group later on. But it's been quality. It's been pure quality, and I think when we did talk about it after, you guys spoke about the change in position, but it's been great. He's honestly been great. It's not one of those ones that it's been 1 match, 2 match. He's been great this season. So when he was nominated for Player of the Month, was it last month or the month before? It wasn't a surprise. I wasn't like, no, the boy is doing bits. So shout out to him and hope it continues because yeah, putting in the work. You need that praise when you're putting in the work.
Leeds, think they're going.
What about them? Go away. Where they going? Back to Championship. Where they going?
You think they got a chance? Because at the moment,
let them go back, bro. It was fun while they lasted.
They sat me also. I was like,
yeah, exactly, bro. It was fun while they lasted, man. Let them go back, bro.
Right,
cool. Let them go back.
And then obviously, like Leicester are back on form.
Come on, Brendan. Come on, Madders.
Have you seen them? Do you see Tillerman's goal today?
I heard he scored a madness, though. I ain't seen no football.
There you go.
Don't worry. It will add 5 million to when we buy him. It's all right. It will add 5 million. There's nothing. I can give them some of the money that I've been saving for the house. I give it to them to buy Tillermans.
All right, cool. All right, let's just move on to like the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, we all agree the right person won the Ballon d'Or, right?
Should have been Messi.
Yeah. That one we agree.
But you know what I was going to question you about the Ballon d'Or, which I thought was a bit silly. Man City won. Man City and Liverpool were ahead of like Real Madrid for like the best team.
Yeah.
So funny enough, the Liverpool one I didn't find too bad.
They went all the way
played
and everything. Yeah.
So that it wasn't a shock. When I saw Real Madrid at 3, I was like, okay, fair enough, because Liverpool must have won it. That was literally my fault. And when I saw Liverpool at 2, I was like, what's happening? So who the hell's first? I saw Man City first. I was like, okay, I don't agree with this. Obviously, they came back and said it's based on the total number of nominations. And obviously, if that's what you're using purely to say it, and obviously you're factoring like women's football as well, then
is it this? Don't get me. I need to research on it. But is it the same as like the actual Ballon d'Or? Do you get like, because I know with the actual Ballon d'Or winner, you get the national coaches and captains.
No, I heard it's just based on nominations. That's what I heard. Like, I'm not sure for sure, but what I read somewhere was that it's just based on who has the most nominations in total.
Cool.
Because otherwise, I'd have given it to Liverpool. Liverpool played every single game last season. I wouldn't have given it to Real Madrid. I don't care that they won Champions League.
Yeah,
Liverpool
same.
almost completed football last season.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
however, they didn't.
Yeah, I would have given it to Real Madrid. Yeah. I know Liverpool got played every single game of football, but I still would have given it to like Real Madrid solely because of the route that it took to the finals. You know what I mean? Everyone at PSG, who else was there? Is it Chelsea? Man City. So that is the route that they took, and they obviously don't won their own league. So that's probably the one. Like as you said, like with the Liverpool one, it's hard to argue, but it's just like I think what puts me off is the fact that I saw third. I'm like, third? Like, what's going on here? Like,
it doesn't matter now, Tom, because guess what? They won't even be nominated next year. So it doesn't matter. Let's move on. Doesn't matter.
All right, cool. Anything else?
Big up Sadio Mane though for winning that humanitarian award though. Like if you haven't watched, to you guys and listeners, if you haven't watched the Sadio Mane documentary, please watch the Sadio Mane documentary. It's such a good watch. It's enlightening, and just the brother's character, everything about him. I couldn't love him even more. I don't know him personally, but I couldn't love him more than I already do as a player and as a man as well. Everything he's doing for his village back home in Senegal. And I'm happy that he was actually given an award for it. Like he was recognized on the global stage of what he's doing back home. We need more players of African descent to do that in order to make Africa a better continent. We need people like that. Because obviously our leaders and government ain't fucking doing shit. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, super happy for Sadio that he got that. And look at the drip. Check out the drip. Oh yeah, styled by me.
Sadio.
Yeah, I love it though. I love it. Like as you said, I love Sadio. Obviously, I hate the fact that he plays for I hated the fact that he played for Liverpool. But yeah, there's not much not to like about Sadio, to be honest with you. So, before, because obviously I like Benzema, so I was quite glad that Benzema won it.
Yeah, Karim had to.
Yeah.
Well, if Salah had finished,
but Sadio come second though. I was super happy.
I was happy, very happy.
If he finished below Salah, I'd have shown up there. I'd have done a whole Kanye there.
No, I was happy. They got.
Shout out to Karim though. Well deserved, man.
Well deserved. Age 34, well deserved. And can I just say, if I was a footballer, you already know that's how I'm rolling up to the Ballon d'Or. I'm gonna have my baby mama sitting there, and I'm gonna have my current girl sitting there, and you're both gonna be in the building watching me get this award. And guess what? We're all going back to the hotel together and making it happen. Big up Kareem, bro. He's living the dream. Kareem the dream is living the dream.
I know it was a two-part drip too. Like.
Man came with like Tupac came with 2 chicks and his son. Oh no. I can't wait for the mini video that he does. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, see, and then you hear his boys at the back just shouting. I've never really heard that. You know what? Normally the Ballon d'Or is just too sophisticated. Everyone's there quiet. Just
them man are from the hood, bro. Them man don't care. Anybody made noise there, they would have stuck it up. They would have stuck that place up, bro.
Imagine they made that mistake and not give Karim the
Oh,
Ballon
bro. They're sticking up Lewandowski, KDB. Everyone's getting stuck up, bro. It's just Kareem to the win.
Cool. All right, you know what? Let's just move on because we need to touch on this before we don't have much time. All right, talking about the Ballon d'Ors. First time Ronaldo and Thingy, was it they were not in the top 3 or top whatever, 10 or whatever, first time in like a few years. And just moving on to Ronaldo swiftly, obviously, I just give my thoughts on it, and you guys just chip in. With he obviously, I'm sure everyone knows what's happening now. He walked out of the game, he, refused to come on as a sub, and walked down. The first thing about it is like Old Trafford is not one of those stadiums that you can literally just snip to the changing room. You have to walk down the pitch, then go into the changing room. For me, it's like, look, there's no one that can defend that. Like you can't defend what he's done. It's just utter like stupidity. Like I couldn't possibly foresee what was going to happen, but I knew something we're going to have drama. I think me and I did talk about it. We knew it was going to have drama. Like keeping Ronaldo on, pretty much inviting drama. And I think I said at the beginning of the season, this is where the manager's going to earn his job because he has to be able to manage this. You need we need the right manager, the right personality to manage such thing. But I couldn't possibly foresee this. I didn't think it was going to be something like this. The punishment, whether it's enough or not, like that's up to the club to decide, isn't it? But in terms of that, we've seen players do it before. I know Ronaldo is going to get magnified a lot more than it should, which is rightly so, isn't it? Because he's a massive player, but it has been done before. But yeah, like he just got to go. We just got to find a way to get him out in January. That's for me personally. We need to find a way to get him out in January because the team can't play well, and everyone wants to talk about is Ronaldo. And what's so annoying about it is because of the weight of his name, even games that United are not playing in, they're still asking the Ronaldo question. It's like, what's going on here, bro? Like, Man United are not even playing, but you still want to ask the Ronaldo the questions. And this is why he needs to go, because we don't need this. The job that he's got now, we want to go under the radar. Like, it's hard to go under the radar because we're Man United, right? But we just want to focus on football. We don't need the drama. We honestly don't need it. And we pretty much said we were going to get sideshows that we didn't need it, but I couldn't foresee that it was just going to refuse to come on. And what doesn't help the manager in a sense is that against City, you're saying, out of respect for Ronaldo, I'm not going to bring him on for the last whatever, after there was being a 3-0 or something like that. But now you can bring him on for the last 2-3 minutes against Spurs. It doesn't add up. So it just doesn't make sense. But the good thing is, if the managers can do Ronaldo right, and everyone in the changing room can see that, okay, cool, this is one of the greatest footballers of all time. If he can get punished, anyone else can get it. If he can say cool, you can train by yourself for all week, or train whoever he was training, whether it's under 21 all week. If he can do it to the Ronaldo, that anyone else that step out of line can get it too. But for me, I just don't know what the guy's doing. We just need to get him out in January. That's my fault anyway. Just get him out. But as I said, in terms of what he's done, others have done it before, but because he's Ronaldo, obviously he's going to hold a lot more weight than what's happened in it. So cool. What did you guys say?
Go on, I'll let you take it, man.
To be honest, when he wasn't doing anything wrong, I didn't want him there in the first place. So this is a very short conversation. When he wasn't doing anything wrong, I didn't want him there. It's just a sideshow. He deflects from everything else. It's not necessary. I'm tired of hearing his name. When Ronaldo doesn't play, they'll say if Ronaldo was on the pitch, he would have scored that. But when he was on the pitch for 89 minutes in another match and he didn't score, you guys didn't say anything. But because somebody else just shut up. Just shut up. Yes, we know he's been Ronaldo, all of this stuff, but he's not the same Ronaldo he was before.
100%. And that's why I'm sorry. Sorry, I had to cut you. That's why I missed out. It's like I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what goes through his head. I don't know what goes through this great players. Obviously, I'm nowhere near their level in it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what goes through their head. That whether it gets to a point where they feel, okay, I'm 37 years old. I'm not what I used to be. I can't expect the team just to cater to me and played so I can score goals. I just don't know what goes through his head. You know what I mean? Like, what same time, what made him so great is going to end up being his downfall.
Exactly.
Like, yes, we understand that's what made you great, your selfishness in the past. But Ronaldo's always had this attitude, because I still remember even before he left United when he shouted at Fergie on the touchline against Wigan when he was playing Wigan one time. Fergie said something to him and literally just throw his hand at Fergie. So he's been doing this, but obviously it's easier for you to get away with it then because you were the man. You were the man back there. Everyone was looking up to you to do the stuff. But now you're not that anymore. You're 37 years old. No one's gonna stand there for you to do shit like this, bro. So please, like, for me, I just want him to leave, bro. He needs to get out in January.
But people are still kissing his bum, though. People are still kissing his bum. Because that Newcastle game, they're like, oh, why they take him off? Even if it's 1 minute left, you don't take off Ronaldo. But he was on for the rest of the match and he did not score. So stop saying that when he's on the pitch, he will score. Because it's stupid. If he's not adding to the game, why keep him on? Don't use the fact that, oh, he's Ronaldo, he scored 700 goals. That your team, if you support, whoever team you support, take Ronaldo when he's 50 and say because he scored 700 goals that you want to use him. I don't want that nonsense. Let him go. Still like him, whatever, but he needs to go. He has my blessing. We love him.
Cool. Yeah, same here, pretty much. Yeah, go on, Ham.
I love it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I do not want him to go in January. I would like for him to stay for as long as possible, for as long as he wants. But the only actual thing I have to say is big up Ten Hag. I love how he's managed the whole thing from pre-season when he was giving his interviews before he even managed the game to how he's done so during the season when Ronaldo left in the pre-season game, when Ronaldo's been upset to come off, when Ronaldo's been upset to be on the bench. Ronaldo's just been upset in general, and United are actually moving forward in terms of their play and actually looking like a something. And yeah, so big up Ten Hag all the way for me. He's the manager that I thought you guys should have had. And everything he's doing, he's ticking all the boxes. Every time I see him and every time I hear from him, or when I watch United, I'm nodding my head thinking, yep, this is who I thought he was, but I'm not happy that he's managing Man United. But I like the way he's dealing with it. And big decisions make or break you in any line of work, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're a business partner, whether it's big decisions is where you earn your corn, innit? And for him, for me personally, even as I look at it, I think he's handling the situation perfectly. Yes, you're not coming to Chelsea. Yes, you're going to get fined. And yes, you're not training with us. I'll see you in training after your suspension.
You can play Europa League, and that's just because we want someone else on the pitch instead of our proper players.
But for me, ideally, I would love him to stay for as long as possible. So I'm loving the Ronaldo show at United. I know before the season started, you guys both said, I don't want him to stay because I don't want the Wahala that's going to come with him. Yeah. I'm loving the Wahala that's coming with him. The only thing is, the Wahala that's coming with him isn't affecting you guys on the pitch. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. But yeah, but last word, literally, just big up Ten Hag. I love how Ten Hag is handling the whole thing. So big him up.
Yeah, no. And you know what doesn't help? I think it's Rashford that's stupid plays like Rashford that are not scoring goals. That's why people are still saying if Ronaldo was there, he would have scored. Bro, if you put your chances away, you're scoring goals, bro. Like, he can even terminate his contract right now so he can go. Wow. But yeah, I'm praying to God there's a way to get him out in January because we just don't need this anymore, man. It's just too much. And you can't defend it. So and it makes me sick when, like, yes, you get like players have done shit like this in the past, but you can't just defend what he's done, but you can't just walk out.
It's still not right.
Yeah, regardless. It's not right. It's not right regardless, man. But hey, we move on. All right, cool. I think that's about it for this week. Thank people for listening. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Most Divided. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. As Ham said earlier, he had a little Twitter beef earlier. So if you want a one-on-one with Ham,
you want the smoke.
If you want the smoke,
bring it on. Bring it on. You know where to find me.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be back next week.
Still top of the league. Still top of the league. Still top of the league.
Peace.
Peace.